Boruto Chapter 51 Sacrifice. Now, we got our monthly chapter for this month, and it's titled Sacrifice. And when I first read this chapter title, it got me a little bit worried because, Naruto was from the beginning of Boruto, the very first episode, we saw hints that Naruto was probably dead or he's been sealed off or something like that. Probably dead, most likely dead. And this chapter title gave me a little bit of shivers because in the first page of the chapter we see Naruto and Boruto, and he's holding Boruto back. So that kind of gives me a little bit of a scared because I really don't want Naruto to die. The only reason I personally enjoy Boruto is mostly because I want to see more of Naruto and Sasuke because that's what we grew up with. I'm that generation. I'm not that interested in Boruto personally, but that remains to be seen. We'll see where this goes. Now, the chapter, I've completely read the chapter by now, and I'm really interested in the chapter. The chapter is pretty good. I'll say that from the start. As usual, we see Mr. Otsutsuki and Boruto talk it out, and Boruto is getting a little bit cocky, and he says that Ishiki cannot kill him, and he's got the hint because of that. I first assumed that Boruto was saying this because it's forbidden for an Otsutsuki to kill another Otsutsuki by their clan laws or whatever. So since Boruto is a vessel for Momoshiki, Ishiki is kind of forbidden from killing Boruto. This is what happened with Urashiki in the anime. Urashiki was actually hesitant to kill Boruto. Even though he had a lot of chances to kill Boruto, Urashiki was not willing to kill Boruto because that would inadvertently kill Momoshiki. So he's not allowed to do that. So I assume that that's the same thing that's happening here, but as we go on in the chapter, it's something different, which is what hypes me up for this chapter because this is a fantastic chapter. The story was actually very interesting in this chapter. Now, going as per the pages, as per the sections, we see Amado talking more. It's really weird to see Amado actually so chill at a time like this. He knows a lot and he's taking his sweet time talking about it. It's kind of irritating, but at the same time, that's how storytelling goes. I wish he just said everything, and instead of smoking his cigar and chilling, he really needs to open his mouth and talk more. But that said, they talk about the chakra fruit. They talk about how the chakra fruit is made. So it seems that there is a special condition that must be met to actually plant the jubi, the 10 tails, to create the tree. And that condition is that you need to feed a living Otsutsuki to the tree, to the 10 tails. So it's like a fertilizer. So you have to sacrifice one of the two Otsutsuki as a fertilizer for this tree for it to start growing. This is really messed up because according to the clan rules, you're not supposed to kill another Otsutsuki. But at the same time, they go in pairs to plant the tree so that one of them is going to be the food for the tree and the second one ends up becoming the caretaker for the tree. But the thing is that the Otsutsuki really don't die because they have karma. So they develop this whole karma technique so that they won't die. Even if they're fed, they will not die. So it's a really interesting dynamic here. But at the same time, it's a little bit confusing for me because in the Naruto storyline, during the 4th Great Shinobi War, during that war, when the Jubi was actually turned into a tree, there was no Otsutsuki sacrifice over there at that time. Maybe there was a different condition met at that time. Maybe Kaguya was the sacrifice because she turned into a tree. Whatever, it is really confusing at that point. But that said, this is a very interesting turn of events in the story because Ishiki plans on using Boruto as a sacrifice, as a living sacrifice to grow his tree. Now, here's a little bit of a weird thing about Ishiki. He's way too polite. He acts like a noble guy and he wants to get this tree. Now, there are two possibilities. One, that he actually wants the tree for himself. He wants to take the tree and he wants to obtain the powers himself and he has his own plan, like Kaguya did. Kaguya had her own plans because Kaguya was meant as a sacrifice for the tree, and then he was supposed to take care of the tree. These two were sent to Earth as a pair. Now, the second scenario could be that he actually is loyal. He's completely 100% loyal to the Otsutsuki royal family. And he wants to complete his mission and he wants to take the fruit back to them, to the original family. So he's doing all of this not for himself, but to complete his mission. That is the second possibility. So he's trying to create the tree again, the second time, so that he can get the fruit back to his people as he was ordered. So there are two possibilities here, and it could go either way. But right now, he's not actually. He doesn't look as threatening as a villain. Like Kaguya was not threatening as well, but at the same time, she was kind of psychotic. But Madara felt like a threat. Ishiki right now does not feel like a threat. He's really polite. He's straightforward. He's not interested in destruction. He just wants to get his job done. He wants to get the Jubi. And he's willing to even let them go if they tell the location for Kawaki. So if they tell him where he is, he's willing to let them go. So that's really interesting about that. And we move on to the next section of the story where Boruto tries to kill himself. Obviously, that's not gonna work, and Ishiki sees through that. Boruto admits that he's willing to kill himself, willing to die for the sake of his village. And the interesting thing is that Ishiki turns that on him. He's like, "Oh, you're ready to die." But I'm glad to hear that because that's what I'm planning on doing. He wants to kill him, but at the same time, Boruto just admitted that he's willing to die. So it's really interesting that Ishiki is actually kind of acting like a good guy or a royal or something like that. He has manners. He's not like a psychotic villain. He stomps Sasuke into the ground, which is really disappointing for me as a Sasuke fan. I really want to see more of Sasuke and Naruto, and I want to see them do the thing. And I understand that this is Boruto, this is the story of Boruto, and this is not Naruto anymore. We're past the old generation, we're in the new generation, and we have to expect Naruto and Sasuke to get bodied pretty soon. They're probably gonna die. They're gonna serve as the mentors for the new generation, and the new generation is going to take over. I know that, I realize that. I saw a really interesting video from Fornevo World where he was explaining about this, because a lot of fans on Twitter and on Reddit were all upset about Sasuke and Naruto continuously being acted as punching bags. During the fourth Great Shinobi War, these guys were so strong. They fought through the entire war and still had enough chakra to take on Kaguya. And even after that, they had enough chakra to fight each other. So why are these dudes right now, these guys who fought someone as powerful as Kaguya when they were teens, why are they now out of chakra? Why are they unable to do anything against Ishiki? Ishiki's powers are pretty cool and all, but Ishiki's power is nothing compared to Kaguya. Kaguya had so many abilities. She had the ash bones, she had the dimensional thing, and she had all of these weird powers that they had to deal with. They were able to deal with that. She had so many Kekkei Genkai. But this guy doesn't have as much Kekkei Genkai. The only thing he does is shrink things, and he has that Obito thing where he has the dimension. He stores things in the dimensions. It's really not that big of a deal for Sasuke. Sasuke should be able to handle these things. And Naruto has all the Kekkei. He has all of the elements. He has all the tail beasts pretty much inside him. So he has 6 paths power. He shouldn't be struggling against this dude. So it doesn't make any sense. They're trying to make Boruto shine and at the cost of Sasuke and Naruto, which kind of irritates me. But at the same time, I understand. This is the story for Boruto. This is not the story of Naruto. So I should expect that at the very least. Now that said, Ishiki once again goes up, he stomps on Sasuke and he buries him under those block things, and then he reaches Boruto. He breaks Boruto's arm, and then he tells Boruto that what's his plan. He wants to feed him to the Ten Tails, and he's happy that Boruto wants to die anyway, so it's not like he's forcing him into anything. Now, here's the interesting part that I found really impressive. When Kawaki listens to all of the story, Kawaki actually is kind of angry and disappointed. But that the spectacle dude, Amado actually notes that, are you disappointed that you're not strong enough, or that you lost the karma? Now, this is really strange because either Kawaki is actually interested in keeping the karma for the sake of power, because he feels powerless right now. He's not able to help Boruto, he's not able to help Naruto, he's not able to help Sasuke, so he's not able to put up a fight. He's basically just sitting there as fodder. So he's probably feeling the pain of being powerless. So he wants that power back, even at the cost of his life. So I wonder if that's going to play into the future. We saw that actually Kawaki actually does get his karma back, and his body does get taken over by Jigen. We saw that in the very first episode, and we know that that's going to happen. But how is that going to happen? Is this the setup for that? Is Kawaki actually going to seek that power himself? Is he going to give in? He's going to take the karma himself? Maybe that's not gonna happen. So we're gonna have to see how that goes, because I got that little vibe from Kawaki. He was actually thinking about getting the karma back because he's feeling helpless, and Amado kind of notes that. So that's pretty interesting. And the best part of the chapter, we have to go to the best part of the chapter. It's about time. I've already been rambling around for almost 8 minutes, so I need to get to the best part of the chapter that personally, as a Naruto fan, I'm really happy about. We see Naruto's finally getting serious. He has a nice chat with Kyuubi, because I love the interactions that Naruto has with Kyuubi. And after a while, Kyuubi actually is kind of weird, because even though Naruto is talking about death, Kyuubi is pretty unfazed. You'd think by now that Kyuubi would be more, sentimental about losing Naruto, but whatever the reason, they're talking about death and they're talking about preparing to die so casually. And Kyuubi has a very secret technique up his sleeve, because if you're going to die, might as well use it. And then the best part, the best panel of all. Naruto finally does land a kick on Ishiki and pushes him aside, saving his son, and then transforms into a brand new mode. The mode looks pretty awesome, and I'm pretty sure if whenever this thing comes into the anime, maybe 5-10 years from now, the pace the anime is going, this is going to look awesome. This is going to look fantastic. The panel was really beautiful. I cannot wait to see the front view of this thing. This looks awesome. As a Naruto fan, I absolutely love every moment of this. Now, here's the little bit of a problem. As much as I'm excited for this new form, the way they kept talking about this form at the beginning, like the way Kurama kept talking about it, seems to be like this is a final resort thing. This is like a life or death situation thing, or maybe he's using his life force. This seems to be like a final gambit kind of situation. So I'm kind of worried that this is going to cost Naruto his life. He's using this technique at the cost of his life, or he's going to use this by Ishiki probably might kill him in this mode. I really don't want Naruto to die. I think none of the fandom wants Naruto to die, but it seems that that's where the story is headed, so that Boruto gets maturity. So that's kind of pretty sad for me, because Naruto, for me personally, because the story of Naruto was all about ending the war, ending hatred, ending all of this unwanted death and unwanted chaos and all that stuff in the ninja world. So Naruto was supposed to be the one who puts an end to all of that, and he actually did. He manages to put an end to the war, the suffering, the chaos of the ninja world. But here we are yet again. He put all that work, and he's yet again dying at a very young age. That is kind of I'm not sure how I feel about that. I really wanted Naruto at least for the first time to live out his life happily, grow old, have a fun life. His father died very young. Minato and Kushina died really young. At the very least, Naruto, after all he went through, he deserves to live a long life. He deserves to live a happy life. And it really doesn't make any sense for me logically, because he has the power of the six paths. He should be able to take on Ishiki. he and Sasuke together should be able to easily handle Ishiki at this point in time. Why are they struggling against Ishiki? Ishiki's only ability is that dimensional thing and his shrinking and making things big again. These guys were able to fight Kaguya when they were teenagers. They were able to take on Kaguya with so much Kekkei Genkai, and she had a lot of Kekkei Gen, different types of Kekkei, the Byakugan. She had all the elements. She has the Ash Bones. She has so many techniques. She was not a fighter, but she had monstrous amount of techniques and monstrous amount of chakra. This guy Ishiki does not even have proper chakra. He's struggling with his chakra. He does not have the techniques. He's a little bit of a fighter, but he's still constantly taken back by surprise. He's being kicked around at the same time. So it's really weird that ninjas like Naruto are struggling against Ishiki, but that's how the story goes, and we have to go along with that. So I'm really excited about the next chapter this month. So thank you for watching this review slash discussion slash rambling of Naruto. I really enjoy this episode, and Ishiki's design, by the way, I cannot get over how gorgeous Ishiki's design is. There are some panels where his little beard thingy is missing, and I'm sure they'll fix it at some point. But it's really nice. I love his design. He's gonna look amazing when he's animated. And I can't wait to learn more about the Otsutsuki, because the Otsutsuki are getting more and more interesting. If Ishiki is this powerful, can you imagine how powerful the original Otsutsuki, the royal family of Otsutsuki, are? I always assumed that Kaguya was one of the royal family members, because Kaguya is based on the Princess Kaguya thing. So it was really weird to see that Kaguya is actually a lower level Otsutsuki compared to Ishiki, because Ishiki is mentioned to be the higher among the two, and he does have that royal mannerisms and stuff, so it explains why he's the higher level. At the same time, he was able to get almost killed by Kaguya, so the power level thing is kind of debatable. I mean, sure, she snuck attacked on him, she sneak attacked on him, however you want to say it, but at the same time, come on dude, you're supposed to be leagues above her, and this is a ninja world. You cannot give argument that it was a sneak attack. Ninjas sneak attack all the time. So it's power scale wise, Kaguya kinda is still up there for me personally, because she was more of a threat. She is the tree right now. Technically she is more stronger than him right now, because she is the tree itself. She has all the 10 tails within her. She has the chakra. She's the origin of chakra. While Ishiki, even though he's an Otsutsuki and superior to her, does not have the chakra. He has to go to the 10 tails every time he wants to get the chakra. So there's that. So anyway, it's a very interesting thing. I love to learn more about the Otsutsuki because they're very interesting, and I want to see more of Otsutsuki in the next chapter. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy this video. Click like, subscribe, all the jazz, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.